YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Ant the Barber coming back at you with another haircut tutorial. In this video, we're going to be doing a crew cut and a beard trim. So I like to begin each cut by brushing or combing out my client's hair. And the reason why I do this is I want to get everything to lay in its natural direction. So now that I got everything laid down, I'm going to come in with my ANDIS SLIMLINE Pro Li, and I'm going to begin to create my first guideline, which is going to be my bald guide. So now that my bald guideline was created, I'm going to come in with my Babyliss Pro Foil FX02 and I'm going to completely bald them out. And you're going to notice that when I get towards the top of that guideline that I use that flick out motion, and that's because I want to demonstrate a smooth, clean transition from completely bald to stubble. So typically I'll give myself about 1/2 of an inch where I'll go from completely bald and then I'll begin to flick out towards the top of that guide. So essentially I'm trying to create a new guide and fade it out at the same time, and this is just going to allow my blend to pop later. Alright, so now that he's completely balded out, I'm going to come in with my WAHL magic clip with the lever open, and I'm going to begin to create and set my next guideline. I'm going to give myself about 1 inch, and I'm going to remain consistent with that inch with any guides that I put in after this. Alright, so now that my guide was created with the lever open, I'm now going to close my lever and begin to blend from the bottom of that guide right back up towards the top of it. And little by little as I work my way up, you're going to see that I slowly open my lever and then I begin to blend up. And each time that I do that, you're going to notice that my guide's moving with me, but that's okay because that's exactly what I'm looking for. By the time I make my way towards the top and my lever's fully extended, that guide will be completely blended out. Alright, so now that that's blended out, I'm going to come back in with my WAHL magic clip. This time I'm using my taper blade, and I threw on the WAHL #1 color guard, and I'm going to come in with my lever open, and I'm going to begin to create and set my next guideline. I'm going to give myself the same amount of space that I gave myself with the previous guide because I want to keep everything consistent with this blend. Alright, so now that the guide was created with the lever open, I'm now going to close my lever and begin to blend from the bottom of that guide right back towards the top of that guide. This time, however, I am going to keep the lever closed, so I'm going to blend literally from the bottom of the guide right back up towards the top of the guide where I just left off with the lever fully open. Typically, the one closed leaves weight behind, so right where I showed you, I'm going to now show you how to remove that weight. So I'm going to come in with that WAHL half color guard with the lever open, and I'm going to begin to attack right above the weight that I see. And I'm going to use that fade down process, so I'll close my lever as needed, working my way down until that guide's completely blended out.
Dirty governments like this one deserve to be taken over.
Alright, so before I go any further with this fade work, I want to go ahead and knock the hair down on top. So I'm removing the bulk and dropping everything to his desired length, which happens to be finger length. So I have on the WAHL #5 premium guard with the lever closed, and here I'm just knocking everything down evenly. Alright, so now that I knocked all that bulk down and everything's cut evenly, I'm going to continue with my fade work. And I actually decided to jump in with some clipper over comb. And here's my logic. A lot of people ask me, why do I use guards when I'm doing clipper over comb? So if you remember where we just left off in the fade before we went to the length on top, it was a 1 fully open. So by me coming in doing this clipper over comb, that comb essentially acts as a number 1 guard. And so by me using the number 1 guard on my clipper with the lever closed, that now makes a number 2. You add them together, so it's basically a number 2 guard. So this clipper over comb is allowing me to blend out in my fade while also removing and knocking bulk down at the same time. So if there is any weight left behind right here, I'll come in and clean it up with my WAHL 1.5 premium guard. And so I'll come in with the lever open and I'll begin to attack any weight that I see. And I'll use that fade down process. So I'll close my lever as needed, working my way down until it's completely blended out. So right here, I'm just continuing to do my detail work on his blend. So I'm coming in with that WAHL number 1 color guard with the lever open. And I'm continuing off where I just left off with the 1.5 with the lever closed. And I'm still using that fade down process. So you'll still see me close my lever as needed, working my way down until I knock out these dark spots. And so one thing I do want to say about my client's hair is it's not ideal for fading. He has really soft, like baby hair, and his hair color transitions a lot from really dark to light spots to even blonde spots in some areas. And so in his blend, it could tend to look like some weights there when it's really not. So a lot of you have probably already experienced this, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. And for those of you that haven't experienced it yet, just keep in mind what I said. That way you're not beating yourself up when you're taking forever trying to knock out dark spots that ain't never gonna go nowhere. So right here, I'm gonna do his beard trim. I am gonna give a little blend to it, and I'm not gonna walk you through it because it is the same exact steps that we just went through with this fade. You could also probably hear my voice is starting to give out a little. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this tutorial right here and let you guys just ride out to the beat. I wanna say that I appreciate each and everybody. If any of you got anything useful out this, I ask that you smash that like button. If you're new to my channel, I suggest you stick around. It's only gonna get doper from here. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you. And real quick, before you beat me up in the comment section about why didn't I line up the front of his hair, or why did I choose to give him this beard shape, and the answer is really plain and simple, because that's what my client wants. Something that I bring to my channel, and I want to keep it that way, is realness. These aren't hair models. These are everyday regular clientele that are just dope enough that they allow me to film their haircut to pass on any nuggets that I may be able to pass on to the next man. And so what I mean by that is anytime you see me do a haircut tutorial, these are my regular everyday clientele, and these are the cuts that they specifically asked for, and that's what I'm giving them. So I hope you guys could appreciate that realness. Again, I appreciate y'all. Be blessed and be a blessing. I'm out.